All right, guys, we got Creator in the bottom right side of the map going up against Cure. Team Liquid for Cure. Creator currently teamless, and we will see how it goes. It's a TvP best of 3 quarterfinals. Winner of this will most likely be facing Clem. If Clem makes it past Patricius, out 2,500 MMR, absolute beast. He'll be challenging him there through a nice matchup, and a few lucky walkovers have led to some hilarious bracket luck on that side. But of course, first of all, it's going to be this match. Now, obviously, it's going to be PvT in the next round, no matter what. Question is, will it be Cure against Clem's Protoss or Creator against Clem's Terran? Reactor first. Oh, sorry, Reactor after Marine here on Winter Madness. And Creator's gone for a Nexus Cybercore. So Cybercore before Nexus. Stalker first, though. You can see when you go Stalker first and Warp Gate, and your second gas is delayed because you've gone for that Nexus a bit later, your Twilight Council gets quite delayed. It's hard to get an early blink unless you're willing to skip on a gateway production. You can see with the second Stalker, still no gas. So, is he going to go early second gate, is he? Or is he just waiting to transfer these to the natural, I think, with the escort of the Stalkers? Yeah, okay, he's just going to transfer them together. Doesn't want any probes hanging out. And then the Stalker can move down to defend if he sees a Reaper coming. But of course, it is just a bunker up behind this, and it's a 3 racks. Okay, Q mixing in a 3 racks play. Be interesting to see how this plays out against the ever-defensive Creator. That Twilight Council does go down at about, what, 235, 236. So it's not too poorly timed. Third Stalker building as well. Second Gateway probably goes down about 310. I imagine over here on the natural, just for a bit of a semi-wall. Very typical build for Creator. Probe Scout, Core before Nexus. Pure Stalker, though, no Adepts at all, which is what makes it interesting. No Sentry either. Tech Lab starts up Stim on the second barracks. Tech Lab starts on the third barracks. Marines in the mineral line, and I think he rallies the other Marines in the main. And the reason is he's thinking about, well, if an Oracle comes in, 4 Marines can defend the natural, and hopefully I can get 4 Marines up in the main before an Oracle arrives, which looks like he should be good for. He's also got a Marine checking for proxies on the map. Not a bad idea. Hasn't scouted Creator's base, so he has no idea what's going on. And a third gateway and a robo are placed, as well as 1 extra pylon just to spot any incoming drops. We know that this is the most common Widow Mine drop angle, coming in from this angle. And of course, Creator has no idea about the 3 racks. But I think 3-gate blink robo is perfectly fine against this. But it's all about vision and where the units come from. If Terran can sneak a bunch of army around the Blink Stalkers and hit the base as a surprise, that is massive. Already wants that third Nexus. Creator is a very economic player. That's a 4-minute 10 third Nexus. Now, notice there's no engineering bay, but a very well-timed factory, 4 minutes 15. When you've already built 4 Marauders, that's a big investment. So still getting this factory on time, you can see he needed to skip the engineering bay to do this. If he went early eBay, you can't afford early eBay and Marauders and still have a well-timed factory. But Cure managing things quite nicely, all off of 1 gas, and only takes second and third gas at 4.5 minutes. So well-timed out build order. He goes back to Marines now, realizing the gas has to be saved for Starport Reactor. And of course, the +1 weapons that'll go down in that engineering bay when it does finish. Observer comes across the map. The Bio barely misses getting spotted by the Observer. Ooh, Creator pulls it back because he realizes this is dangerous, but he's going to stumble into the Stalkers into the Marauders. Luckily, there is no concussive. Stim is done at the exact same moment Blink is done, but Cure not pulling the trigger on it. Creator's micro has been reasonably solid. Doesn't want to take too many more of those Marauder shots. You want to dodge those Marauder shots. You can't dodge Marine shots, but you can dodge Marauder shots. Stim gets baited. Battery coming up just now. Stalkers are going to try and keep the third alive, but he's got to try and bait the bio, pull back, bait the bio, pull back, and that Nexus will be falling. Q is going to go for the Stalkers. He will get the Nexus as a consolation prize, but good Stalker micro for Creator. And Creator's job now is to wait until Stim runs out and then hunt all these units down, but he doesn't want to lose too many of them. Great micro for Creator. He will lose 2 Observers and a few of these Reddit Point Stalkers, but all things considered, I think a pretty decent trade for Creator, who immediately sends a probe out to retake his third and says Forge, Robo Bay. I think this is a very even game. 4th gas goes down. Some people would say that's better for Terran because they've killed the third and killed some gas, but only 4 Stalkers? I don't know, man. I usually prefer this setup for Protoss, but a lot of those Stalkers are damaged, and if they all start dying, that's a big issue. Bunker going down, it's only 100 minerals. Stalker costs a lot more than that. So that sort of defense against that sort of attack is the sort of situation where it's much easier to just stim an A move some bio a lot of the time. So I think at mid-tier level, this is like kind of a build order win for Terran, usually. But you can see at this level of control, the Stalkers have such amazing micro ability. And Creator really did the best he could with that hold. 4th Nexus on location. Stalkers pick off one more Marine, it looks like, as the move out comes. Got to be careful with how damaged these Stalkers are, like I said. Colossus has just started. There's one Immortal, 3 Zealots, and a Sentry behind this, but it's not able to really pick these units off. And yeah, you got Concussive Marauders stimming after. You just got to run away. That Stalker's dead. Accidentally rallied it in the wrong direction. Energy recharge on the Sentry is a good call. There's only 2 medevacs. Can't pick everything up, which means force fields could be really effective. The 4th Nexus is in trouble. If the Colossus was here, this would be a much easier fight for Creator. And yet it's not. Oh, he dodges a few of the first volley, but the second volley lands. Great cancel for Cure. Very necessary. That buys him time for his 3rd to come up. His 2nd eBay and Armory going down so he can continue upgrades. And he scans another Observer, keeping Cure in the dark. Cure has to keep building Colossus, and therefore cannot afford to rebuild that. Now, all the gas needs to go towards charge. Right now, Creator not having charge is a travesty. He's so distracted by this army. Finally, charge starts up. 7 minutes 45. And he's got to get extended thermal lance. That's the other really important thing. All he needs gas on is Colossus, extended thermal lance, attack upgrades. Everything else should be Zealots making. Because he doesn't have charge, you really don't want to make too many Zealots when you don't have charge. But I think with 2 Colossus adding range damage, it could be effective. He's got a new Observer out. He's been kind of mixing these in, but he's got no gas, and that really does hurt. And another 4th base going to get sniped here. This is huge for Cure. Cure's now got 2-1 on the way. Ship weapons, Vikings building, and you know he's going to pop a starport down on the factory reactor. A Ghost Academy, and then 3 more barracks. Maybe in a different order, but he's going to get that to round out his play. 4th Command Center might go down a bit sooner as well. Doesn't have gases on his 3rd just yet. Creator's going to take the base on the left now, thinking about a different base orientation. 4th and 5th goes down at the same time. 4 more gateways and a Templar Archives are chilling. You'll notice that Creator feels incredibly safe as a Protoss player. Sits at home, doesn't really move out much. And if there's one thing I would identify is if I'm a Terran player and I'm playing Creator, I don't fear a lot of things. He just doesn't attack much. And it's similar to playing Showtime, where I think players get away with things against Creator they don't get away with against other players. When we watch Cure at this stage of the game against Hero, he looks so paranoid. Oh, is there a prism coming in my main? What's going on? And in this case, to be fair, he's got the good defensive setup in case there is. His army's getting caught by storm drops. Things are happening. But Creator is so passive. He really doesn't ever press the tempo. And that is it's something, I wouldn't say it's always a weakness, but it's definitely a feature of his play that can be somewhat abused. Prism's going to go to that right side. Stalkers on the map. No second forge, no armor upgrades. The armors are going to, the upgrades are going to start out scaling. That 2nd starport's up in the reactor, like we talked about. Still no Ghost Academy or 4th Command Center for Cure. So Protoss has got a small worker lead, 8 workers. 4th base is finally mining for Protoss after being denied. I think it was 2 or 3 times. And of course, this Nexus on the 3rd got killed earlier as well. Single Zealot run by. Not even the max power Zealots, just a single. Bio's coming forward. Cure expects the 4th probably in the same location. He doesn't know about the reorientation of the base setup. Guardian Shield accidentally gets pressed before the fight even starts. That is unfortunate. There is another full energy sentry in there. It does activate Guardian Shield, which is pretty effective. The Bio just shoving. Absolutely crazy move. Wow. Absolutely crazy commitment for Cure, but he says, I've got 2-1. You've only got +1. Let's go. Oh, and he shuts down the Prism in the back door. There are some Zealots in here. But overall, an amazing fight for Cure. I mean, that is just such confidence. He just looked at the army and he said, that's not a big enough force. Storm came in a few seconds too late. If the Storm came in at the start of that fight, probably a different story. I think Cure has to back away, but he read that so confidently. I would have run away. No way I would have fought into that choke point. I would have let Creator off the hook. Cure, a smarter man than most of us Terrans. You see Colossus in a semi-choke point. We go, oh, I'm not going in there. Creator said, dude, I've got the numbers. Doesn't matter. Creator, though, picks off a Viking. Ooh, Ooh, very aggressive push here for Creator. He's got a lot of Storm as well. If those Colossus survive, that's huge. But good pull away on the right side from the Storms for Q. He goes back in, though. Does eat some big Storm damage. We need another Storm. Creator has the energy right now, but he's a little slow, and he puts 2 Storms on top of each other, and then he walks through his own Psy Storm. Gotta be careful chasing through your own Psy Storm. Creator, it feels like he's decided I'm all-inning right now. I don't think that's a winning move. There's only one Reddit point Colossus. It's basically just 1 Storm, and it's a pack of Zealot Stalker with a single Immortal and Archon. He can deny the 4th temporarily. I mean, I like that. I like this. Grab a bit of damage and then run away. I don't think you're going to kill that 4th command center. There's no way with this amount of Stalkers, is there? You're going to trap your army for it. He's going to get the 4th, but what's it going to cost? The Colossus goes down, Prism goes down. Storm does hit some of the bio. The command center is burning, but it's not dead. And if the bio can clean this army up, it's really good for Cure. But it's all about how they trade, of course. It does seem like those ghosts are starting to go down. There's 125 hit point ghosts, very tanky. Only 1 or 2 of them did end up falling. 3 in total, actually. 1 must have died earlier in the fight. Command center on 29 hit points. It does survive. Creator still down 2,000 in the units lost, but he's got a 5th base mining. And finally, +1 armor coming in, +3 attack starting up. Now, I've seen Creator kind of run out of steam at this stage of the game a lot, where he kind of just doesn't really have a next step. But that was previously, where he wouldn't make Storm. He's added Storm. So he's clearly added a bit of longevity to this style. He's added a 5th gas. I wouldn't mind another gas or 2, just because it does feel like his gas is going to run out soon in the main. A few minutes till that runs out. I think a little bit more gas buffer might be nice for him. It's going to be hard to break down a Cure, though. As he gets to the later stages, his +3 armor finishing will round out his upgrades. There is no fusion core, no ship weapons just yet. So you could argue, okay, no Caduceus reactor. The Metavaxer will run out of healing. There's no +2 ship weapon lib range libs or anything like that. Disruptor getting added into the mix right now for Creator. So he's going to go for the old the Showtime Whirlwind style. I think Showtime was the first guy we really saw play the triple splash damage style very, very effectively. 2016 BlizzCon, where most people would go, oh, you know, you're a Storm player, you're a Colossus player, or you're a Disruptor player. And Showtime was the first guy who brought out that style where he built all 3 and stacked them on top of each other. Hard to micro correctly, though. Very easy to fumble your unit control when using 3 spellcasters like that. Prism gets shot down by the Vikings. Big Disruptor! Does take out a bunch of Marines. Damages one of the Ghosts and Marauders pretty heavily. Another Ghost does go down to the Zealots. Nice chase here for Creator. Cannons there as well. Chasing into cannons always feels a bit awkward as Terran. But I think Creator's... He's got... I mean, the Zealots are expendable, right? I guess he's doing good. He's going to blink after it. Those Metavacs going down is pretty massive. He does run his Stalkers away, though, which I'm not so keen on. I think they could have picked off a lot of Vikings there. Maybe a bit too careful. Maybe a misclick. I'm not quite sure. His Stalker's very paranoid about throwing their lives away, and I think he could have got a few more pickoffs there. Would have been nice. Blinks forward, gets himself a Viking. Cure does back away. Units last time shockingly close. And it's good to see Creator looking a little more confident, mixing in some more varied forms of damage. I love it. But what do we know about top-level Protoss pro gamers, guys? They stop rebuilding High Templar at a certain point in the game. Storm's been what's kept him trading so evenly with the Terran. And he's stopped making High Templar, which means I think he's just going to kind of forget about it once this High Templar is dead. And I really hope that's not the case, because it's the most successful part of his strategy so far is adding that extra problem for Terran to deal with. You should be remaking at least 3, if not 4 High Templar. It takes a while to get that energy on those High Templar. Got a good Disruptor count, though. 6 Disruptors now, 4 of them on the front. Q's dodges are not the dodges of Clem. He's known to take big balls on the chin pretty regularly. EMP on a few of the Disruptors. Gets himself just 1 unit there. The balls going forward, exploratory balls. Guys, just wanted to come in just momentarily and point out, guys, Twitch chat and YouTube chat have a big rivalry. Obviously, I haven't been streaming on YouTube as long, we haven't built as much of a culture, but I just wanted to point out Twitch chat are talking about sad news, you know, I didn't beat Clem, someone talking about TLO, someone talking about Polton Bomber in the good old days. Okay, that's fair, but case in point, there's a guy in YouTube chat, Uncle Nigel, out of nowhere just said, "How is P sterile?" That's it, no context. I think that's the first thing he said in chat. I think he wins. YouTube chat's winning today. Up your game, Twitch chat. Here we go. Can the balls defend this base? Q is kind of between him and his economy a little bit. Ghost does go down as well. That Nexus is going to fall. Probes getting gunned down. Good storm. Good zoning storm, but that means the space in the bottom's exposed. The Zealot drop gets into the main. He's tried so many times. There were always Vikings stopping it. Finally, a Prism gets in the main. Creator's going to lose a lot of probes and a Nexus here, it looks like. The Stalker Zealot tries to come in. He's got to be careful about chasing into that army. It's a very good defensive zoning army, is Creator's, but I don't know if it can do more than that. And remember, only +2 armor on these Zealots. They're actually getting smashed by the 3-3 bio and the EMPs in this choke point. That's a beautiful fight. Whoa! Half the bio army got left behind. Kua got so distracted staring at his base, and yes, he was winning that fight, but he just lost a bunch of bio. But I mean, he's still ahead 5,000. Unless, oh my god, no, Kua, what are we doing, mate? Keep it in your pants, bro. Oh, and guess what? The Prism's still alive in that main base. Looks like Creator may have F2'd it as well. Obviously, it will be going down. He's going to try and push. I think this is a good idea. I think you got to try and push right now as Creator. Kua's in a bit of shambles, even though he's got, I think, plenty of units to defend. They're not organized. His ghost count's a bit low. He's overstimmed. He has no medevacs with his army. Because you kind of separated them for, like, get in, find some damage, force an awkward fight on his side of the map where you can retreat. Because remember, like I said, it's a very good zoning army. It's good for defending. Is this Protoss army? But High Templar. He's only got one High Templar. It's the one from earlier. He did just lose the other one. Gonna need to keep bringing those High Templar forward. Stalker's blinking back. There's so many Vikings. And I think you want to swap off these Colossus now. Those 4 Colossus, I think if push comes to shove, are a big waste of supply. But if you can trade these Colossus out in small skirmishes, maybe, and then Kua will have way too many Vikings. But it's all about the balls right now. Kua's going to force the fight. A lot of the bio trapped down south. The Disruptors going around the corner and landing some big hits on the Ghosts and Marauders. Oh, man, look at the Vikings, though, coming from the rally. Marauders from the left as well. Zealots are going to reinforce, but they've been a bit slow to do so. The Prism finally does go down. Honestly, what a messy fight. And Creator might have actually done well enough. I'm so glad to see. You know, I was watching Protoss players throw their hands in the air and say, we can't do anything against Terran. And I was like, I believe you. I believe the matchup is quite Ember in late game, especially when you play Clem. But there's a lot of Terrans out there where the Protoss players were looking lost at how to fight them in late game. And you can see Creator, he's expanded his toolkit, he's using Disruptor Storm. I'm not saying this is easy or super reliable, but I love that he is outplaying Kua at a stage of the game where most Terrans and Protoss players would say Terran has a little bit of an advantage at this stage. That being said, Kua never got to lib range and +2 libs, and that's where the Disruptors really fall off in my opinion. So I think Kua now is realizing, I better get those libs out. If the libs come out, that's where Creator's army is going to struggle. But Creator's remaking High Templar, he's making more Colossus, which I think is good because he killed most of the Vikings. So now I think Colossus is a good investment. 65 workers for Creator. Remember, Creator lost a lot of his economy and didn't retake the bottom left yet. Retook this base, and he's got the top right mining. The Creator, he's mining these gas as well. He needs to retake that bottom side. Otherwise, his income's gonna dry up as his third half mined out, and this base will start running low in a little bit. Dark Shrines come in. There is no DT blink just yet, but 2 Colossus building at a time. Kua trying to get his way to lib range. And he has the +2. Lib range is about to kick in as well, so... Oh, and Liberator Harassment. Such a good thing to mix in there. Oh, Creator's going to go Storm Drop in late game. That's so dangerous. There's not many Vikings, though, so if there's a time to do it, now is that time. Oh, look at that. Pulls back the Liberator just to be annoying. Oh, that's such a nuisance. You need a Stargate. Actually, on this map, he should have already dropped one. You need to build a Stargate as Protoss, otherwise he can keep scanning and denying your minerals. I know it's not crazy damage, but it will be very annoying if he gets libs on the other bases as well. Creator refusing to build a Stargate right now, though. We'll see if he can make it work. Good storms on the SCVs. That's a lot of his storm energy used. And he throws 4 Disruptors out. One of his Colossus rallies in. Get out of there. Creator wanted to do a hit and run. He wanted to just bust that planetary while the SCVs couldn't repair because of the storm and then get out. But Kua was close enough by. And continue to push in there now with very little storm energy. It's a little dicey. It's got no Guardian Shield anymore either, due to that EMP. This Liberator being a dickhead. But that's the compliment, just so you guys know. Disruptors going forward. So your job in war is if your opponents don't think you're being a dickhead, you're probably doing war wrong. Hot tip, guys. I know, I'm filled with wisdom. Sun Pig's Art of War. Oh, good storm. I love that. I love that storm there. He's like, oh crap, you're jumping on me while I'm trying to warp in. He's created with some cute movement, but he's got to be careful. He's going too aggressive now. Does get a decent storm, but loses the Prism and 2 High Templar. And he damages units, but not significantly. Now that's a good storm. The libs will take massive 110 damage, eating an entire storm. Doesn't quite kill him though, and this Liberator... Oh, you got to build a Stargate, bruv. Creator is tilted. Uh-oh. He's remaxing on army. He's going to try and kill Cure with an all-in. He says, screw playing long game. He's not really focusing on his economy. Creator's had enough. He wants to finish the game. He just made more Stalkers out. He has 29 Stalkers, but only 1 High Templar, no Storm, 6 Disruptors, 2 Colossus. This is crazy. The ground army's kind of small for Cure. Cure's actually up 10 workers, down 10 army supply, but the lib count, 9 libs with range and +2. He does manage to already take down one of Creator's balls. Now, of course, there's no shame in losing one of your balls out there. Shout out to all of my cancer survivors. Whether or not you got the implant afterwards doesn't make you any less manly. And Creator right now, he's honestly, I mean, by any measure, he's got 5 balls either way. So it's not really anyone who questions that manliness is wild. I mean, that's he's wasn't that Charlie Sheen show? What was it called? 2.5 Men. Well, 5 disruptors. What can I say? Maybe Creator's a fan. Got 2 next line going up in the bottom left side of the map. Plasma Shields is on the way as well as Blink DT. It's going to siege up on the base down there. Does need to scan though to actually see it. Liberators no longer get vision of the circle, even though they do siege a bit faster. Next in the bottom left goes down. You can take that if you want. Yeah, this is my lunch. My wife's coming looking for the peanut butter. I stole it. Disruptors going forwards. Libs come forwards. Oh, dude, the lib push is so scary. We need a storm to stop this push. But he's only got 1 High Templar. This sort of move, if he flanked this with a storm, imagine how much damage that would do to the libs and Vikings. But he got caught with no storms, and that's where the libs bully the heck out of you. Ah, it's unfortunate, man. He's got to go around for the counter. Maybe he can get Cure to get caught out of position, but he's going to lose a Nexus and a bunch of probes. Really good play for Cure. Creator going around wisely, but it's in these moments where your opponent's moving, that's where storms wreck them. Disruptors down here. Oh, this section of Stalker Disruptor gets caught. He tries to save the balls with a recall, gets 1 of them out of 4. Stalkers are going to try and fight these guys. Planetary will go down. There's a few DTs in the mix. It does fall. Disruptor goes out, but it does not hit Vikings, of course. There is a storm in the mix. Lands a decent storm on the Vikings. Prism goes down, though, and I think this is, oh my gosh, such a messy fight. Such a messy fight, in fact. A lot of Vikings go down to the Stalkers. There's Stalkers from behind. What the hell? He surrounds the army. The second Prism gets sniped just before, if that Zealot Warp-in was complete, he definitely gets everything, but with the Stalker Blink, he's going to do it anyway. There's so many DTs in the mix. Dude, is Creator actually going to do this? Both Prisms went down before their warp is completed. He blinks forward. He gets 1 of the full medevacts. He gets the other medevacts. The Vikings are going to go down. How in the world? Cure, he wasn't able to finish it. I thought Cure had this, but Creator finds a way to just create chaos with movement. Never builds the Stargate, which I told you guys he needed like 10 minutes ago for the libs. Creator kind of being a little pig-headed at moments. But it doesn't matter. You're allowed to be pig-headed in StarCraft if you find the thing that wins. And in this case, it was the engagements. The fact that he has traded evenly with a Terran 25 minutes into a game, this is something we have not seen in a long time. Very impressive. Very impressive for Creator. I've seen Hero swamp people because he's just far enough ahead. But even then, him and MaxPack's very rarely trading evenly. Usually still down 10,000 in the resources lost. And obviously in the games they lose, often down 20, 30,000. Damn. Creating some chaos. Really well played by Creator. Just not fighting into the libs, going around and forcing the Terran to come to you. Tried to run back, and the Disruptors, the Storms, very good for controlling space. The Storm did a lot of damage to those Vikings. Zealot TT is gonna break the northern base. He's gonna go for the turret. The Stalkers can blink on that bad boy and kill it really quickly. He's gonna try and take care of it, but he's got to get away from the bio, and he doesn't get the planetary. Oh no, Creator! He does get the planetary, but he's gonna lose so much. Oh my god, he's gonna run away, dude. Surely he's gonna run away. Dude, Creator has no money? No, he's got money coming in on the bottom. He's got to transfer workers, though. He needs... Oh, dude, I feel like Storm would be so amazing here. I know I'm a massive Storm stan, but I think it would be good, but he doesn't have any gas. He's got 2 gases. Is that all it's mining? Oh my god, it is, isn't it? He's got to transfer workers around. I think the Mules... He knows that the Mules will win this game eventually if he lets him mine. He's trying to trade with the Stalker Blink. He's doing a good job, but I think DT is into the production. Could be good. Maybe a DT into this base to just pick off SCVs and force scans. Disruptor picked up into the prison, pulled away. Q is going to try and shove like a mad lad. Oh, the Disruptor accidentally unloads in the front of the army. That's unfortunate. Dude, I really feel like a Storm could do... Are you going to give this base up? Creator, give this base up. Don't be stubborn. Good choice. Run away. No! No, Creator! He's trying to do the fanciest micro, and he almost loses his Colossus for it. Yeah, see what he's trying to do? He doesn't have... What was that Colossus doing? Maybe he was targeting a ghost in the back or something? I'm not sure. Crazy fight right now. Colossus still dropping around. Stalkers blink forward, take out the Libs. There's not that many Zealots, but he jumps on top. Oh, the Libs are doing crazy damage. The Colossus a little bit slow. The Ghosts start to go down, though. Can he get rid of these Libs? Not quite. The Libs doing too much. I think the Libs have done too much. He's got nothing that shoots up anymore, man. And Creator, he kills so much, but he still ends up losing. Oh, he'd lost too much economy. I thought he had that one in the bag. But that planetary, retreating that army to that planetary, he lost way too many units there. He just couldn't quite kill it. The mass repair was just enough. And I think in this sort of game, this is where there would be so much more movement between these bases. A few High Templars scattered in would be nice, but when you're already... This gas just runs out. These gas run out. You have so little gas income, you suddenly can't afford the High Templar, and we can see why that happened. Great game one, though. Really evenly matched here between Creator and Cure. All right, guys. We've got Creator in the top left side of the map, Cure in the bottom right side of the map. It's a best of 3 here, guys, and I am on the screen, which I should not be, so let's get my ugly face off there. Barracks gas goes down. Is it going to be a double gas? I don't think so on Taito. I think he's going to play a 1-Rax expand. This was a very early probe across the map. Creator did not want to die to proxies. He says, look, I'm playing Cure. This guy's a mad lad. He likes to mix in some dirty cheeses. Big thank you for the gifted sub to Ivory Tower, person whose name I'm not going to mention. I'm going to call you Smelter. We're going to ignore the first part of your name. Damn it, I was even trying not to laugh, and it still got me. I'm such a friggin' child. Stupid name. Thank you for the gifted sub. Gateway and gas goes down there as well. It's so dumb. There are certain words that get me. It is actually a double gas for Cure, guys, so he wants to get the tech up early, take momentum, and potentially look for some early damage. He might think, oh, Creator will be tilted now. Let's get him with the surprise, you know, do a Widow Mine drop, kill 20 probes because he might fumble it. Mustak, thank you so much for supporting the tournament, mate. We just did a big shout out trying to help raise the $200 dues for the tournament, and the fact that you've dropped 50 and Devil Archon's dropped 50 is so generous. Thank you so much to those who watch live and support the tournaments. Obviously, you guys are watching afterwards on YouTube. You can always check out my Patreon. It's one of the best ways to provide ongoing support just for me as a content creator, so that we aren't volunteering our time unpaid for these and stuff. But yeah, otherwise you could just watch, enjoy the content, share it around, have a good time. And don't be afraid to post things in the comments as well with timestamps if you ever want to have a discussion about the strategy, criticize anything, point out something I missed. A lot of cool insight from players of all skill levels in the chat and the comments. Zogger, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs as well. Sorry guys, the first unit to this game is just shoutouts, but that's okay. We're not missing anything. It's Nexus goes down, and that's a quicker Twilight Council. So I think this was Nexus before Cybercore, right guys? I believe it was. I think if you're going to send a probe across at the very start like he did, that is one of the better ways to do it. Adept will head forwards, and there is going to be multiple Reapers and Aliens. So you want to scout this, maybe kill the SCV, but you don't want to lose the Adept as Creator. Creator does not want to lose this, and he's got to run. Get out of there. He's shading backwards. He's going to try and at least damage the Alien, and he knows he'll take a lot of damage here. Probably keeps the Adept alive, though, and actually almost gets the Alien, but Cure wins, and Cure can go back to repair. Cure very happy with that trade. Oh, Decker got in with the $5 as well, said Protoss Imba. Nice. Nice. Guys, we have a rule, no balance winding in this chat, but that does not apply to donation messages. If you guys want to throw money at me, throw money at StarCraft, throw money at tournaments like this, that's where you're allowed to be a salty little... Appreciate you, Decker. Yeah. I'm sure that was a very serious comment after that last game. Very nicely done. 3-gate Robo coming up. 3 Reaper, 2 Alien. Let's go. The Reaper's going to jump in the main base. Stalker's there. Adept on the natural. Uh-oh. Both units pulling out of position. Cure did this earlier against Upsire. Looks like he's just enjoying the 3 Reaper with the 2 Alien run by today. And getting quite a few probes, of course. These guys did pull away. Cure's multitasking, focused on the Reapers rather than the Aliens. And that's a little bit of a misstep, I think. He gets 6 probes, but I think he could have already drained this battery and done a lot of damage through that healing. You can see, because he does damage with a double shot beyond what it could have healed. I think he could have killed at least 3 or 4 more probes with a bit of better multitasking. I think if that's Clem microing that, no offense to Cure, Creator's in a much worse spot. Either way, 6 probes, lots of mining time. I think that's still a perfectly fine opening. Especially when the Hellions survive, you know? You've still got a bit of map control with the Hellions. Widow Mind Drop goes forwards. Tank and Raven follow up. This is a really good setup. Thank you, Substance Snake, as well. We appreciate you with $5, throwing straight towards that prize pool. And I think we're getting close to the $200 to cover that first place. Thank you, guys. Clem's not fair. Not human. That's not a fair comparison. Okay, Beyond. I think Beyond would have microed it a bit better. Oh, I do agree. I'm like, if... Like, if I was God, I would, like, never make any mistakes or do anything wrong or have any failings. It's like, yeah, that's not fair, bro. Like, oh, okay. Does keep the medevac alive, but you just need to leave one Stalker. That's one shot to death. Hellion drives in the natural. Will actually survive to drive out, but I think that's a good shutdown. Of course, there is an altar up there, guys. I don't know if you guys can see in the top left of your screen. Behind that medevac, there is a Moopy, a little Ewok here, who's getting friggin', I guess, sacrificed on an altar here. They're doing some sort of demonic ritual. There's three of them just kind of doing some crazy stuff. I don't know. There's some sort of dark magic going on. The medevac pilot's like, what in the world is happening over here? Not sure if you can see it on this side. It's kind of off screen in the bottom right. Hard to see it with just the perspective of the camera. Pretty standard follow-up for Cure, as we always expect for him. You know, 3 barracks, factory starport, +1 weapons, stim shields. No doubt concussive will come in next. Hellion did probably spot what was going on. I think the medevac just went down. Tried to fly that in. And the Nexus did get spotted. So Cure's going to push towards the 3rd, but it is Cure. So it's a non-committal push. Like, he could absolutely be like, yep, I'm ahead, let's just kill you. And it might work. But he's very chill. If he sees enough resistance, he's usually one of the best players at just backing off, not overcommitting. Stalker's already getting a little bit of damage, but there's only 4 of them. Storm is finished. It's all about land. If you land a good storm on these Marines, maybe the tanks as they start to siege. He's got the prism ready. He goes for it. Nice! Oh, a little slow on the first storm. 1 Stalker goes down, but good damage there. Yes, 1 Stalker does die to the auto turret, a little sloppy. But Cure's going to have to chill, wait until the medevac's there. He could rotate to the right side if he really wants to force the issue, but... Oh, the Stalker's going to get the tank. Well microed there by Creator. Cure, not finding what he wanted with this push. Just held off by 4 Stalkers, 3 High Templar, and a Prism. Talk about a handful of elite units making an amazing hold. Ooh, he didn't have the High Templar with energy as the first one to unload, so it made it really hard to micro. Ends up unloading more now. Cure chasing like a mad lad, realizing there's just so few numbers. And Creator may have gone a little bit too close to the bone on this defense. If he just had a few Zealots in there, this Immortal should hold off these Marauders now. That's going to force Cure back, yeah. Cure can pick up and leave whenever he wants. Units lost time, but 300 actually in favor of Creator. The fact that he kept a few High Templar alive, morphed him into the Archon, and now has a new one that he's energy recharged. He's still got a Storm available. Oh, 2 Stalkers for a medevac. Is that worth it? I mean, usually killing medevacs is so high value, but these Stalkers are in short supply in this game, so got to be a little careful. 3rd command center is almost done. 4th and 5th barracks, you can see building on the add-ons. The medevac count is growing. 4 of them out. 5th and 6th about to pop. Nice little green pylon here, guys. Green crystal here. It's kind of like this is some way of like accessing the webway, right? This looks very Eldar. You know? Forge and Robobay go down. It's going to be Colossus transition for Creator. His 3rd is fully mining on minerals. And he has 4 gas. It's a lot of tech. All of just 5 gateways. I guess he's got 8 gateways coming up now. And lots of Stalkers waiting in the main. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Cure doesn't know about those Stalkers. Cure has no idea. If he boosts in, and the Stalkers blink at the last second. Oof. I think Creator knows he's up there as well. He has 9 Stalkers, right? Oh, he doesn't. He's only got 8. That's the wrong count, guys. You need 9 Stalkers to one-shot a medevac. He's miscounted. He's miscounted his Stalkers. This is a mistake. You need 9 Stalkers so you can one-shot the medevacs. Oh, but you know what? Cure doesn't take the risk, so it's okay. He does scan for the safety and does not run into the trap. Oh, thank you very much for the $10. Killtrocity Really appreciate that towards the prize pool. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Models moving over to this side. Sorry, guys. We always, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, we always have like one cast a week where like I've just done a shout out before the game, and half of that particular game is just me thanking people. But you know, hey, they're the generous people who make these tournaments happen. So got to show some love, right? Hopefully I don't miss too much of the strategy. Ghost Academy's coming up. Armory as well. 4th Command Center building. Q is going to settle in for a macro game. Probably a good choice. With the quick tech and how well Creator played that last game, as well as the quick second forge, I actually quite like his position, especially because he's brave enough to take a 5th. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, all right, well done. Not bad, not bad. Sensor towers going up front, 3 more barracks, 2nd starport. All the pieces you need. Uses the reactor from the factory, as he doesn't really have much of a use for Widow Mines once we hit the late game. Unless your opponent's really massing zealots, the Widow Mines often a bit more trouble than they're worth. You got to unsiege and siege your libs. You got to micro your Vikings. You got to EMP your ghosts. You don't need some fiddly burrow on burrow boys as well to deal with. And normally getting the 2nd starport to pump Vikings to deal with Colossus is higher priority. What I love this game, guys, is I was going to say he stopped at 2 Colossus, but actually no, he's just supply blocked. He's going for a 3rd Colossus. Oh, did he cancel that and then restart it, guys? The 5th base is now building. 2 zealots down south. 2-1 upgrades getting chronoed for Creator. +2 attacks on the way for Cure. He hasn't started armor just yet. Lots of things for Cure to afford all at once. I would imagine Q is probably going to head to range libs a little bit sooner this game. 5th Command Center goes down. Hey Pig, nothing wrong with thanking the homies. It's just a lot of Keith and talking about pee and whether or not it's sterile over here. Thank you, YouTube chat, for being who the hell you are. Love you guys. Viking Bio coming forwards. The Stalker's trying to blink in. The Archon's doing what they can. Good EMPs, though, will hold him back. The Storm, of course, zoning Cure from chasing, though. No pursuit available over there. Oh, Storm. Watch out for the Storm. High Templar does cop an EMP, though. I think Creator could have dropped that Storm a bit deeper, a bit earlier. +2 armor finally starts for Cure, but he's already got a 5th and 6th command center. His Viking count is growing. I don't like the 4th Colossus. I'm a big hater of 4 Colossus, guys. Creator did really well with it last game. I feel like 4 Colossus is basically saying, hey, I want to make sure you get maximum value from your ghost. I think in this sort of slow game, you're clearly going late game. Chrono the heck out of your upgrades, because you guys aren't going to have a game-deciding fight for quite a while. Keep extra High Templar scattered around the map. Don't just keep them all in your main army like this. This is way too vulnerable to making a hero mistake and just clumping them all to an EMP. So leave 1 or 2 scattered around the map. But more important than ever, I would say stop at 2 Colossus. Go Disruptors already. The Disruptors, you could tell Cure was struggling against those balls. Good EMP to start. High Templar coming in, but none of the Storms land. That's a good start to the fight for Cure. Another EMP lands. There's still a few High Templar in the army, but it's 2 High Templar at the back that he's really looking for. He's trying to do the classic style, bully you back, exhaust your EMPs, but I think there's enough EMPs for all of the High Templar. You can see no Storms really landing on the actual Terran army. The Vikings chasing. You can see how much value the Vikings are getting. He's just killed 2 Colossus. Look at that. The Colossus going down. The High Templar getting EMP'd and going down. Archon's being forced to morph. There's still EMPs left. There's only 1 High Templar. And it's just such a good fight for Cure. I always despise that push. No offense, guys. I've seen Classic win with it before. But at this stage, when there's that many ghosts, I think you have to look at their army and go, there's too many ghosts. You had the Watchtower. You know that the only way that works is if Cure fumbles it. Extra Robo goes down. See, he's rebuilding his Colossus, but there's already 10 Vikings out, and that's always a dead-end tech tree. He's going to swap to Disruptors now. A lot of Protoss feel if they don't have Colossus, they can't deal with ghosts. I do think you can. Disruptors still knock most of their hit points off, even if they don't one-shot them anymore, which does hurt. Oh, that Prism Micro is dodgy. Dude, what are we doing? Creator! I don't know what he's doing. That was not even a speed prism, guys. And he was just leaving it right in front of the Terran army. Very sloppy, and Creator doesn't have any splash damage. Only 2 Colossus. 3rd one rallying out. The Zealot Archon gonna try and chase here. Cure's army's a bit small, but it doesn't matter when you've got positioning like that, eh? Gets rid of 2 of the Colossus. The third one does waddle into the fight, but this just feels like it's a monster series of trades for Cure. And this time around, it's kind of what I was expecting on Winter Madness. A 2-to-1 units lost ratio and much better. Ooh, Doom Drop. Q is like, it's going to be hard to get home from here, man. You know what? Let's just go YOLO. It's YOLO time. Recall happens, but it's only on a pack of Stalker Zealot Archon. There's no Storms in here. No High Templar being rebuilt. A Storm could push this out. Disruptor is actually going to get a big boom. Q committing in here like a mad lad, dude. Viking tried to land behind the third at the same time on the far right of our screen. Did go down to a Zealot. The Stalkers are getting gunned down by the Bio Ghost, and I think even if you lose this whole army eventually, you've already traded so well. Especially if you save some of the Medivacs and some of the Bio here, which he should try to pick up. Saves 3 full Medivacs. You're kidding me! Oh, Creators in Tatters is going to be so upset about that, man. I think a Stargate's necessary for hunting these units down, as well as potentially dealing with the range libs that could be problematic on some of these angles later. Like this base up here, I think, is weak to range lib. Love to see a Stargate, but of course, Creator's busy just trying to put out fires. Doesn't really have the time to focus on that right now. Funnily enough, this drop could redrop in the fog. Creator would have no idea. He sees these Stalkers, he thinks that's the whole army going back, but it's not. And the redrop's going to go in, going to go after these Pythons, powering all of the production of Protoss. Q has been getting some big wins recently in this matchup. It's good to see him back on top. We've seen him take series off Max, Pax, Clem. Did he take a series off Hero as well? I'm not sure if he managed to beat Hero in any big ones, but he's been competing really nicely. Lib sieging up, Bio trying to spread. Oh, balls coming across the front. Good spreading on the Bio. And Creator's going to have to tap out. Creator trying to go for that Storm push. I really feel the transition into the Disruptors is what opened up so many opportunities, and they're not overcommitting to Colossus in that Winter Madness game. If there's one thing I would look into, I'm not saying this solves everything, you just win the game. But I think when you see it, a Terran who's way out on the Viking count, continuing to commit to Colossus is a dead end, and I think it hands a massive advantage to Terran. I think right now, a lot of top Protoss Pro players are actually making a mistake where they're rightfully thinking these ghosts are so tanky, they're a problem. Colossus is the only bonus to light damage that Protoss has other than Phoenix and Adepts, which are just not viable in this point in PvT. So you've got to have Colossus deal with the ghosts. But I really do think you end up building Colossus uncritically in a situation where it's not as good. And this is not just a creative thing. This is something I've witnessed like across many different TvP series. You guys let me know what you think. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts, but I believe it is a strategic error, and I think it's allowing guys who are heavy on Vikings to just get so much profit. Those Colossus do almost nothing when the battle happens. You have a few Disruptors in there, throwing the balls out, it creates a lot more of a problem, and then the Storms can do a fantastic job. If your opponent's low on Vikings, Colossus are great, go up to 3 Colossus, but if they have a lot of Vikings, I think you're much better pivoting into the other forms of splash damage earlier. You guys let me know what you think. Either way, Q is smashing that and going straight to the semis. GG, well played.